Greg Sewers to hit him. 2 seconds left. Kyle Spingle stuffs the last player for Dynasty. Slams home that buzzer. Left alive for AC Dallas. Again, that is not the way they wanted to start this game.
No, and unfortunately for Jackson, leaving a little bit early and getting pulled for that, not being able to, I don't know if he definitely went back and tagged up, so I don't know if they thought he shot his gun. I'm pretty sure you can tag up. We'll have to see if we can get a ruling on that, but that's AJ Lawhead on your screen, making his way to the 50 Snake. He's trying to find the last 2 bodies of AC Dallas.
Oh, and he gets a free kill there. Nice work by AJ Lawhead.
It's 2.
Yeah,
nice job.
A little 2-pack to clear it out here for Chicago Aftershock. They only lost Carl Markowski, so real solid point here to start things off in this afternoon division. Chicago Aftershock going to be going up 1 here against AC Dallas. Definitely getting a bit of a gift with Jackson. Matt Jackson just not able to make it out in time. It's kind of an unexcusable mistake there. Not sure exactly what happened, but they had the whole lunch break to get ready. Didn't even play the first point of the set, and still not able to get 5 guys out and start.
Maybe just a little too amped up. You know?
Maybe. To me, that's the type of stuff you can't do. Maybe I could see if it's like mid-game and there's chaos and gun breaks and that sort of thing, but there's really no reason to not have your 5 guys out there for the first point.
And if anyone's going to correct that, it's the guy right there in the middle of your screen in the red GI Sports shirt, Greg Pauly, the coach. He picks up on those mistakes right away, and he'll definitely let them know so he's not to do that again.
Yes, there was Nico Hyde, Spies, and Roberts in there talking to Coach Greg Pauly. Okay, now back. Oh, Impact gets a bad start too. So they're dropping the ball here, jumping the gun on the horn.
Yeah, and Justin Rabikoff gets shot out, trying to make it out, and Zane Yakimak. So 2 bodies down for Impact.
Referee checking out Billy Bernacci, but he's clean. So now really good field position as they send a body up in the center. That's Dixon Yang up in the center for Xfactor.
Derek Jordan's already on Impact side of the field. As Keith Brown comes walking off, so maybe only one, maybe Zach Yakimak could be the only body left, and he gets clipped up by everybody on Xfactor. So I don't know, maybe that something's happening that we're not hearing, or these people they're going a little bit early.
Well, that was a totally different scenario than what happened with AC Dallas. AC Dallas just didn't get Jackson out in time. They had everybody out there for Impact. They just jumped the gun on the buzzer trying to, it's tough when you're out there. I mean, every fraction of a second with that gun switching around gives you another couple balls going down range.
Absolutely.
And so that's why you try to ride right on the edge of that buzzer, but they just got a bad start. So we're here in the pits. There is Coach Nona, or Yakimak.
Zach Yakimak saying, hey guys, just get in your head. It's 10 seconds. We've done this before. If we just count that down to beeps, there's no need to go early,
Yeah, frustrating start for Impact as Xfactor goes up by 2. Right now, Chicago Aftershock up by 1 here in the opening moments of the afternoon prelim action here, 2016 Great Lakes Open.
Yeah, there you have AJ Lawhead. He's asking for a check. He makes it to the corner. Carl Markowski doing the up and over play from the back center to the Snake 2. Saw that move in practice. Carl's done a good job. Actually, it looks like Drew Templeton walking off from the Dorito side, so 1 body down for Shock. 2 bodies down for Shock as Ronnie Azan is taking the walk on the far side, so 5 on 3 in favor of AC Dallas, who's on your screen right there, making the move into the Snake 3.
Carl moves up into the 50-yard line. He's got a player right in front of him, though. And you can see that player wants to come launch. It doesn't even matter because I think Carl got shot cross field.
Wow.
Picked up Carl Markowski.
It could have been, there's a nasty bounce shot off that pin that can come in and hit him. So if they called that out, and what a nice move right there. That's definitely not Pauly. Who's that, Nathan? Who just came out wide and took out Lawhead down the wire.
Yeah, that might be Nate Roberts. And then last player for Shock.
Nate Roberts might need to be careful here. It looked like he definitely got shot. Maybe. And the ref runs over and calls him out. I thought he was going to get a penalty right there. I'm surprised he didn't.
That was close. So. But still, there's just a
slew. 4 bodies.
There's just a sea of blue out there right now for AC Dallas. 4 bodies left alive.
Did we take bets last event on what color they're going to be?
We did not.
We didn't?
But we should have.
We should have, right? Like, what's it going to be? What color are they going to go with this event? I think they switched jerseys up twice last event, too.
They had like a funky neon color, like a highlighter.
They had like the green.
Yeah, let's check out this replay here.
Yeah, so there's Nathan.
There's what we think is Roberts wearing Greg Pauly's jersey. He comes up, gets that kill, nice work, and then comes over the top here. He's going to cut on that inside and then jumps over, picks him up.
Like, watch his gun, his hand. No?
No,
All right, maybe
I
not.
didn't see anything. No, it was a clean run, so.
Not bad.
Nice
well, the
work
ref called him out on something. That ref got up and chased him and pulled him out. So I don't know. But hey, good job by AC Dallas to come back from that bad start for the first point and tie this game up 1-1. So we're bringing you back. There's Edmonton Impact on your screen. They're down 0-2. San Antonio Xfactor, Justin Cornell.
To the snake off the break. Also take that center 50 off the break too, trying to call his kill. The referee's going to get in there and check out Billy Renaccia, who is eliminated. So they did get him, but they lose a body. It's 4-on-4.
Yeah, I think is that Nick Laval that went up to center just screaming on Billy Renaccia as Zane Yakimak gets shot out on that Dorito side. So 2 players down for Edmonton Impact, though. Nick Laval up at that W, switching to the Dorito side. 1 body down. Excuse me. For Xfactor. Nick Laval tries to back up and get a shot. Those Pinzo.
But Nick, looks like Zach Yakimak getting shot out of his spot. That forces Justin Cornell to get into a tactical retreat. Comes back a couple bunkers. And we're going to see, is that penalty assessed on
penalty.
Archie? It looks like a penalty assessed on Archie Montemayor, but before that happens, Nick Laval dies in the center.
Wow,
and Justin Cornell now all the way up, and I don't think anyone's picked up Justin Cornell. Tons of bodies died now off that penalty, so it's Grayson Goff locked in a one-on-one right now with Justin Cornell. Thought this point was going to be another quick one here for Xfactor.
He bounced him.
And Grayson Goff is really trying to push up quick and right into the gun of Justin Cornell, so it's a really aggressive one-on-one play right there by Grayson. It didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and Justin Cornell saving the day right there.
Absolutely.
Seeing his teammates die, does a tactical retreat out of the snake, gets back to the snake tower, shoots the body cross field. I don't know if that was Derek Jordan or Colt. Shoots the body cross field and then gets into a one-on-one, takes a lucky bounce to the jersey and eliminates Grayson to win this point and get Edmonton Impact on the board.
Absolutely, and that is going to be one of those points that if Xfactor goes back and watches it, they're going to be shaking their head. They were winning that particular point. They had, I think, at least a 2-body advantage before that penalty got hit.
Absolutely.
And they were winning the gunfights. They were effectively shooting Impact out. It was just JC left, but too many bodies got dropped, and that's just, that's one of those heartbreakers. You won't want to lose those. When you're playing Impact, you don't want to lose high body situations, but what an amazing job by JC.
Saving the day, man.
Yeah, that was huge
that was
by Justin Cornell. Because if you go down 3-0, I mean, that's going to be tough. Now it's a 1-point game all of a sudden on the back of that Justin Cornell one-on-one victory against Grayson Goff. Really, I think it might have been a 2-on-1, to be honest.
It was a 2-on-1. So Chicago Aftershock on the break. Carl Markowski streaking up to the snake side of the wall. Mark Johnson asking for a check. He gets taken out, so 1 body down for AC Dallas. There you see him walking off. There's the 4 bodies for AC left on your screen. The Dorito 1, snake or Dorito can, back center, and the snake tower.
So Woodley doubles up with Markowski. Markowski pushes up to the center. Gonna try to work that crack. AC Dallas floods the body out here, but it looks like Aftershock. Yeah, Ronnie Dizon getting a slow start on that D side. Is it Drew?
Yeah, it's Drew.
Drew Templeton over there catching a ball on that D side of the field. So 4 bodies left alive right now for Chicago Aftershock.
Yeah, you can hear the communication there from both sides of the field. Here comes the move up the middle.
And he takes out Woodley. Wasn't able to get Carl, so that's the advantage if you have 2 players in there.
Yeah, good job by LJ though. You can see that he saw him coming.
And here, but look at this though. Carl Markowski past the 50-yard line, and he gets a kill there, still alive. And then Carl is going to trade out. No, gets picked up finally. Yeah. But because of that, a player from AC had to try to come and make the move to take out Carl, and he gets shot trying to make that move. So now the advantage definitely, it should be for a Shock, but Shock is losing bodies too.
Yeah, Rob Velez gets picked off. He gets shot in the head by the player, the AC player over there on the Dorito side. So AJ Lawhead. Oh, AJ shoots. I just completely went blank.
Matt Jackson.
Matt Jackson. I was going to say Johnson. Matt Jackson. So now it's a 1-on-1. So AJ Lawhead over here in the Snake Dorito. AC Dallas' Snake Dorito playing against the Dorito 3. Ooh, a good snap battle here. These 2 players are...
AJ Lawhead, the veteran, Chicago Aftershock. It's all on his back right now, trying to win this one-on-one and take the lead. Here is it going to be AC Dallas. Couldn't see. Could you see who it was on AC Dallas over there on that D side?
Could be Spies.
Could be Tyler Spies.
It might be Tyler Spies.
They are just locking it up in a snapshot battle here.
AJ is not one to back down, and he's going to ride or die.
Well, he still has 3 pods, so lots of paint here for Lawhead.
Yeah, I don't think any of these players are going to want to make a move. If you're on the Dorito side, you're going to move into the 50, which is a mini wall. And if you're AJ, you're going to move to a mini wall or a tall cake. So I kind of expect these 2 guys just to ride or die and battle. AJ's battling left-handed. Looks like Spies now is out of his left, switching over to his right. And this is where doing drills and practicing snap shooting comes in, man. That's TJ. I think it's TJ. Is that Danner?
Yeah, I think that is Danner. So TJ Danner for AC Dallas. Still a ton of time left though, but this is the momentum shift right here. You win a big one-on-one, everybody's watching. This has been going on for a while.
Oh, AJ Lawhead gets him.
Oh, so AJ Lawhead wins the snapshot battle here. And it was a pretty fierce one. They definitely were battling it out for about a minute. AJ Lawhead, though, the veteran, able to prevail and give his team a 1-point lead.
Yeah, nice job by Lawhead. And we'll say both players, man. I mean, that was a solid, at least solid minute of just snap shooting and battling.
Yeah, and in no way, shape, or form did AJ Lawhead dominate TJ Danner in that fight. It was a pretty even snapshot battle back and forth, but at the end of the day, Lawhead was able to get one in on him and give that big momentum shift to his team. It's always great, man, when you come off in a really close game against a team you want to be able to come out here, take that first victory in your first game of the tournament, and you see your buddy win that one-on-one.
30 seconds.
Take that, get you guys that lead. It pumps you up. So
pumps
now,
you up, pumps your team up,
absolutely.
pumps Bruno up. I mean, I know Bruno's freaking out right now.
20 seconds.
I saw him pacing up and down the pits over there. So we're bringing you back to Edmonton Impact against San Antonio Xfactor.
10 seconds.
Still down by 1 here. Impact on your left, Xfactor on your right. And on the breakout, Billy Bonaccia for Xfactor all the way to Snake 1. Impact sends Keith Brown to the back corner bunker on the Snake side, so farther spread out for Impact, but further up the field for Xfactor. And there goes Billy Bonaccia crawling up. Keith Brown doesn't crawl up to Snake 1.
Yeah, it's a good move to go out to that corner, looking at Billy Bonaccia of Xfactor on your screen, Keith Brown to his left in that Snake, top left corner. You can get to that corner, and it looks like if you're the back center player, as Xfactor loses a body, that you're in the Snake. So it's a really hard read. And Impact, Zach Yakimak getting shot out, so 4-on-4. Keith Brown moves up the Snake to mirror Billy. Now Billy going to get himself into the 50. If he comes to the tape, he's going to have a shot on Keith Brown. And it's one thing I've been really trying to pay attention to, Maddie, is looks like Rainey takes a lucky bounce, is how many players get to this 50 Snake and come to the tape right away, right? If you know there's only one guy out wide, you have a really dominant shot with that angle right there. If Billy just comes to the tape and looks out, he's going to see Keith Brown. You can't hide in that Snake too.
And there's Keith Brown. Looking over Keith Brown's shoulder here, and then Billy's going to try to do exactly what you just said. He comes out, tries to sneak one in on, and he's not able to do it, just wasn't able to come out wide. Rainey is trying to put some paint over there, can't quite get a grid shot on him. You can see how those bunkers blocked him out. But Billy Bonaccia in good field position. And again, the stories coming out of the Xfactor camp leading up to this event was that Billy Bonaccia was on fire. And sure enough, now in the 50-yard line, there's Dixon Yang in that center 50, not center 50, in the back center, the back center Dorito, and he's shooting towards the D side. Michael Kovar is behind Billy Bonaccia, looking out in front of him. Stanzik is behind Brown. Those are the 4 players on the Snake side. But again, Billy in the driver's seat here, and he's going to try to wrap around and get that shot. Keith Brown is just laying down up on his elbows, focusing completely on Billy Bonaccia.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kovar get a little bit closer to Billy, because if Billy is one person you know that likes to commit to go get people, so if Billy decides to go, right, if you look at both Kovar and Rainey, Stanzik for Impact, they're both mirrored up in that Snake tower. So if one of these players die, the advantage is going to go to the team that fills that Snake spot next. And
Yeah,
Kovar, definitely a veteran of the Snake. Rainey, I'll say, yeah, he's definitely a veteran. And here comes Kovar.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And now Kovar makes a move up. He goes to the ex-Aztec insert bunker right behind the Snake. And here comes Billy's going to commit, and he's able to take out Brown. And there comes Rainey. He's going to fill in the Snake 1. Kovar yells the kill across field, but Kovar stays in that Aztec. So now Rainey's in the Snake. We'll see if Kovar matches that move. It's 3-on-3. There's Rainey stands, you can see, creeping up on that D side for Xfactor, trying to get closer to that 50. There at the top portion of your screen. And there he goes, past the 50-yard line. Another body comes off. Rabakov takes the walk for Edmonton Impact, and there goes another one too. So it's just Rainey Stanzik over here. Not looking good for Rainey Stanzik, and that forces Bart Yakimek to concede that point, and that's going to give another one to Xfactor, score 3-1. Xfactor looking solid here in their first match.
Looking really good, man. And you know, I mean, it's something that Impact's got to pick up on. If I see Billy Bernacchi out there, I think he's pretty much gone to the snake, or been in the snake in the first 10 seconds of the match. Right? If he's not there on the break, he's getting there quick.
Out of everyone we've seen out here, probably the quickest to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's doing real well for them, man. The constant presence in the snake. Let's check out this replay.
20 seconds.
So there's Bernacchi, Brown in front of him, and Bernacchi is going to decide to come around, uses that bunker, and is able to trade out with him. And then you see Rainey.
10 seconds.
Rainey gets in there and fills that spot. Let's look at it from the other angle. So you can see there, Billy Bernacchi on the right-hand portion, Keith Brown in the snake on the left-hand side. So let's get back to this match here in the baby blue. Looks like Johnson getting shot, trying to get out wide.
Yeah, Johnson getting shot. LJ Woodley for Aftershock going up to the wall, playing the snake side. He knows the body's already walked off from that side. He's got Rob Velez. Looks like Chris Oseen getting a spin. He's playing that tower right there on the right-hand side of your screen. So there's LJ Woodley in the center. AC Dallas losing a body on the Dorito side, so they're down 5-on-3 in favor of Aftershock. They've got the snake tower, the Dorito can, and I'm not sure where their third body is. Might be over there on the Dorito side still, but at least 2 bodies down for AC Dallas. There's Shock on your screen. Chris Oseen with Rob Velez. There's a body. LJ Woodley gets shot. It looks like he might have got shot in the back of the head. He kind of turned around and gave a pretty good scowl to his teammates. So Rob Velez, though, quick to fill up there and take LJ's spot.
Yeah, so there's Velez wrapping around, looking towards that D side of the field. Shock with a little bit of an advantage here. Good field position. D's on alive.
Yeah, D's on over there in the Dorito 3, going to look to make his way into the 50. If he can do that, he can put big pressure on Jackson, John Jackson, in the snake tower.
Yeah.
Chris Oseen now in the snake 1.
Yeah, good move by Chris Oseen. Chris Oseen goes to load a pod, then decides to crawl up with the pod into snake 2, but here comes the push in the center. D's on past the 50-yard line. The first to go is Velez. Velez gets a kill.
That's it.
And then that is going to do it. So Chicago Aftershock also going to go up 3-1 here.
Yeah, Shock looking good, you know. Getting some kills on the break, making some good moves. Bruno really stresses that if we lose that body up there at the middle, someone's got to fill it. That's where he wants to go up there and punch you in the face. And so I don't think, I'd say maybe this is the rest of this tournament, the one area you're going to see Shock push is up at the wall. They might lose a body on the snake side, they might lose a body on the Dorito side, but where they're going to push is up there in the middle. Bruno loves it.
Here we see the beautiful layout we have here at Victory Park, a little outside of Cleveland, Ohio, for the 4th event of the 2016 NXL season, the Great Lakes Open. There is Bart Yakimek, the owner and coach of Edmonton Impact, and what an amazing story it's been over the past, wow, I mean, good half decade in their rise to the top of the sport. Ranked first, now on the breakout. Impact, though, stumbling here early, losing 3 bodies, 4 now. It's not looking good for them. It's just Zach Yakimek as he looks over and sees a slew. And I was going to say, just wait for that concession horn. It's about to come, trying to preserve that time.
What?
Now 4-1, Edmonton Impact looking pretty bad here in their first game.
Yeah, just outstanding shooting off the break at this point by Xfactors. They shoot Justin Rabakov, Justin Cornell, Zane Yakimek.
Let's listen in real quick.
We're going to call timeout. They're wrapped in it. Yeah, but you got to be moving faster. Yeah, but if I want to shoot the snake, I got to stay watch. You guys should move. They took a bounce. He went there instantly wrapped.
So even,
yeah, they're pretty calm still, though. You know, you can see that they're a little frustrated, but they're pretty calm. Calm.
you know, this is their out of bracket game, so it doesn't mean quite as much. It's practice. And they're one team, as you watch this replay, that's the breakout for Xfactor. So you can see Archie there in the center, probably getting at least 2 of those kills. Maybe the kill on Zane as he tried to fill out to that Dorito can. And then definitely on JC, because JC tried to step out, and I think JC ran right into his gun for that second lane that Archie put up the center. And then the quick trade out up the middle, I think Grayson Goff went up there and took the ball out. So Great job,
Well,
Xfactor,
Xfactor's
man.
doing everything right. They're attacking, they're shooting players off the break. It's actually, for all the layouts we've seen, it's kind of hard to shoot guys off the break on this particular field.
Well, Chicago Aftershock just shoots one on the break over there on the Dorito
Yeah,
side.
I mean, it's going to happen, but compared to some of the other layouts that we've seen, both in Europe and the Millennium Series and over here, looks like...
I will respectfully disagree with you.
All right, well, I'm not, this is just my opinion. I'm just taking, I've played on this field. I'm just going off what
Suit
I've
up,
been
bro.
told.
Go get out there with the Ironman and Todd. Get geared up, baby. I got an autococker here.
Yeah.
I brought some stuff. So AC Dallas now losing a second body, so 4 on 3 in favor of Aftershock. There's the 3 players left alive on your screen for AC Dallas, back center, Dorito Can, and Snake Tower. So Matt Jackson playing this way. It looks like he's got... Man, they, with the jerseys and the goggles now, they all look the same. Gosh darn it, AC Dallas. So Matt Jackson over here. There's Aftershock on your screen. Carl Markowski up there at the wall. He made it there on the break. He's got LJ Woodley over here on the Snake side. LJ just needs to go. He's got some cross-field pressure.
Well, Markowski's looking for it in that center.
Carl's always looking for it.
Yeah, he is always looking for
And
it.
there he goes. Look at that, man.
And he's going to cut through, and he gets to that spot, goes through that lane real fast, stays alive. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He knew he just wanted to get to that spot, get a little bit closer here, utilize that bunker, but way past the 50, and they need to follow him up.
They do, and this is the second time that Carl's done this. He did that, and Matt Jackson, who makes the move, is going to take Carl out. It looks like Carl, good trade, but no one's looking at the Snake for Shock, and here comes a penalty on Carl.
On Carl?
Which
really?
I'm really, you know, unless, I don't know what that, I mean, he was shooting that way, and the player ran up, unless they feel that Matt Jackson shot him in the back first.
Well,
I don't know.
No, Matt Jackson went
right from the
secondary.
side.
The first move was towards Carl's front, which his gun was up that way. Again, now that's why we got the refs out there. I couldn't really see from this angle, but it looked like that player ran right into Carl's gun, essentially. So it's a little peculiar that in that situation, yeah, maybe we can see a replay here. You know, in that situation. So look at Carl. His gun is up that way. He's gunned up that way.
Yeah, that's, I mean, if that's to me as clear as day as a trade.
Yeah,
in the
and
center.
See, and Carl's actually asking for a penalty himself, so maybe that's where it was, like a talking after hit penalty.
Well,
you see the ref over there. Now that ref calls that penalty.
You know what? I got a warning for that.
It was a talking. It was
hey,
talking.
Did Carl get a warning on that, like I did? Too much talking. They're saying too much talking by Carl. Yeah. So I got a yellow card over when I was in the 50 Dorito for talking to a ref. Like, hey, I felt like I came out, I snapshot the Revo guy.
Yeah.
And what the heck?
Yeah. So
he was like, I have to give you a warning for talking after your hit. So unless Carl got a warning, he instantly got a 1-for-1, which I kind of disagree with.
I am not a fan, and anyone that's watched the show for a long time knows that. I hate talking penalties. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but it's in the rule book, so they got to call it.
So yeah, here we go. We're back with Impact on Xfactor. Impact on your left, Xfactor on your right. Xfactor losing 2 bodies, now 3 bodies. It looks like here's a minor penalty on Keith Brown in the Snake. So only 1 body possibly left alive. Just Justin Rebikoff, I think, left alive on 2 bodies for Xfactor. You can see the 2 Xfactor bodies there on your screen. Again, 1 body, just Justin Rebikoff, it looks like, is left alive for Edmonton Impact. So he's looking at Grayson Goff.
Yeah, tons of bodies walking off here.
And someone with some nice headgear. Is that Derek Jordan up there in the center for Xfactor?
Well, there's 3 bodies left alive right now.
Oh, there's
no, 2 bodies. Yeah, 2 bodies left alive. It's 2 on 1. But lots of chaos there as you see all those bodies walking off pretty at the same time. We've continued to see that though here at this event, and that is going to be yet another point here for Xfactor.
Just off the break shooting, man, for Xfactor is the best I've seen all day.
Other than the Russians. The Russians have some pretty good off the break shots, but not as good as what we're seeing from Xfactor.
Yeah, no.
Not as good.
Shooting 2, I think almost 2 bodies.
30 seconds.
Off the break. I mean, they had 4 essentially in the last point they played, so
now
good shot of the Cleveland Great Lakes Open.
20 seconds.
Yeah, we're getting some good weather here this afternoon so far. Well, I mean, we can knock on wood all we want, but there's definitely a storm coming for sure.
There's always a storm coming, baby.
There's always a storm coming. I feel like there always is a storm coming every time we come out here.
Absolutely. We've had some good times in this booth.
Yes, we have.
Locked up. So there's AC Dallas on your screen. They are down by 1. There's their breakout. Going to go ahead and take the Snake on the break. Nathan Roberts, he gets taken out. 2 bodies for either team up there at the wall. They're playing the same side. 2 bodies now down for AC Dallas. So 5 on 3 in favor of Shock. And there's a trade out there. AJ Lawhead trades out with Devin Stewart. So 3 bodies down. Ronnie Dazan now playing the snake side. He makes his way into the snake 3. He's going to wrap immediately and try and put pressure on Matt Jackson. So just 2 bodies left alive for AC Dallas in the Dorito can in the snake tower. Ronnie Dazan and LJ Woodley now making the press onto AC Dallas' side of the field.
AC Dallas forced to concede that one. Nice attack there by Woodley and Dazan. Dazan coming over the snake side here. It's really good to see him play on the snake side very much.
Well, Shock has the weapons, man. They have guys that can play essentially everyone, and I'll say nothing against Chris Oseen. I know he's feeling pretty sick. Everyone, and we saw Chris Oseen play the snake. Everyone on that team could play a front position on either side of the field.
You did say that, yeah, Chris Oseen, obviously he's the biggest guy on the team. His specialty is shooting people off the break and holding it down as that 2 or that 3. But it was funny that he ended up getting a snake in one of the first points.
I was going to say something. I was watching. I was like, man, Chris, I can tell, really does not want to throw the snake right now. Yeah. But he did what he had to do, and Shock pulled the point out. So, that's Ronnie can play both sides. Drew can play both sides. AJ, Carl, Rob, LJ, and they've done it thus far. As you watch Edmonton Impact break out, let's see if they can get 5 bodies alive. They do. Keith Brown going to get checked out. He looks like he's good as his pack flips around to his stomach. So this is the first breakout. We've seen Edmonton Impact making all 5 bodies alive. Xfactor there on your screen. Billy Renaccia making his way to the snake 2. There's 5 bodies alive as well. Nick Laval making his way. Nick Laval gets taken out, and it looks like Justin Cornell on the Dorito side gets taken out. So 2 bodies dropping at the same time for Impact, man. They're just not surviving the breakout, not surviving their secondaries. Super dominating performance here by Xfactor. A game that you're looking at right now could easily be a finals match. And as we talked about earlier, both these teams have been in the top 4 all year.
Well, Xfactor, again, sitting at 3rd overall. They took 3rd at the last event.
Point approved.
So Impact going to go ahead and concede that point.
Was it Impact that conceded the point? I saw a bunch of bodies walking off for
Xfactor.
Xfactor.
Yeah, it was definitely. It had to be Impact. I mean, they were down 2 bodies. I think someone from Xfactor just dropped out of the center. I don't see Ryan Brand at this point. Why would he concede the point when he's up?
Very true. Very true. I just looked across and saw it could
there
be
at
one
least
of those
3 bodies walked off.
Well, but there were, I thought 2 or 3 bodies left alive on Impact side.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, yeah, point conceded there by Impact, and just Xfactor's running away with this one. But as I was saying before the start of that point, I mean, heading in here, it's Impact is first at the first event in Vegas, 2nd in Texas, 2nd in Nashville. So consistent. And but Impact's been getting kind of slow starts recently. You notice that? They get the prelims, that they're not coming out with as much as we've seen before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not as much oomph.
Yeah. It just kind of takes them a little while to get rolling.
It does, and I'd be interested to pick Bart's brain and some of the guys' brains on how they take this first game. Are they trying different things? Because they definitely do pick it up towards the, and it's not like.
Well, they've always picked it up. I mean, we wouldn't be
but it's
saying
not like the
first,
tournament's
second,
on the line.
Second, and they've won a tournament over in Europe.
Right.
I mean, it's, they've had a lot of success.
Right,
so.
but I don't think they've had to play a game in the prelims where the last game on Saturday they have to win to make it on. Right, they seem to do fairly well after that first game, and they switch it up. Right, we just watched Goldman, even though the field was perfectly symmetrical in London, play both sides of the field, do really well. Justin Cornell did that. Everyone else pretty much played the same spots, but we've seen Ronnie from Shock switch it up, and some of the guys on Shock move places. So I wonder if we're going to see that with Impact to switch, because something's got to switch here, to fix this out, figure this out. Did you see Matt Jackson there shooting snake side on the break? He's trying to shoot AJ Lawhead, who gets clapped up, trying to come over the top of the corner bunker. He made it in clean, but he tried to overplay it. AC Dallas losing a body. It looks like Danner trying to go up the middle, or is that John Jackson trying to go up the middle? So here comes a big move by Carl Markowski now into the 50 Dorito.
Yeah, 50-yard line on the D side. We'll see if anybody picks him up. There is a body walking off on that D side. Must have come from Carl.
Yeah, John Jackson definitely knows he's over there now. He was screaming. He's forced to play.
I think that might be 2 bodies here coming off for AC. No, there's just 1. So it's 4 bodies left alive for AC.
Yeah, it was Mark Johnson that got taken out of the center. There goes Carl. The one issue with Carl, it's not like, let's say it's so much an issue with him, is that he makes these spots so quickly on the break, and he wants to go, but he goes and there's no one there.
Yeah.
There's no one behind him, or he tries to go and he thinks there's someone that's in front of him that's not. The one thing it stinks, is John Jackson saw that Carl was there and redirected the guns for AC, and so when Carl decided to go or take a little bit more around that 50, guns are waiting for him.
Exactly, and that's the thing when you get a guy like Carl, he's always looking to push into those spots, but once he gets into those spots, even though he's a veteran, that's one of those things he constantly has to remind himself. Hey, hit the gas pedal, or hit the brakes a little bit when you get in there.
Absolutely. Turn around, talk, communicate with Ronnie, talk to Sos, say, hey, this is what's going on, I'm here. Chris Osing gets taken out. Looks like it might just be Ronnie Dazan left alive, or Drew Templeton left alive in the Dorito corner, and here comes Matt Jackson. He's on Shock's side of the field in the snake, backed up by his brother. Drew's going to take the walk, get shot. So that's going to put AC Dallas another point on the board. They bring it to within 1. The score will be 4-3, pending the clean button push by Jackson. So he's going to get checked out by the refs.
Big point here for AC Dallas. You don't want to let Aftershock start running that score up. Got to keep it close. There's Matt Jackson, who's been one of the heroes for this team in their run in the pro ranks.
I think this is probably his best year. Watching him play, he's played outstanding all year round. His shots are on, his landing's on, his communication. He's a solid all-around player.
He's another one of those success stories, coming from VCK in the pro ranks, but they got beat up, on the lower end of the pro brackets. But he learned, him and his brother, they learned so much from that. And so it was great to see them emerge out of that trial by fire, head on to AC Dallas, and find a whole new level of game.
Yeah, and those are two guys, brothers, that grind. They're playing all the time down in Houston. They get together with Ryan Smith, the Houston Heat. They go to they own a store together, Pro Edge. They go and play at Legends. They go play at Zone. They're always playing. They're just immersed in paintball. So
yeah, exactly. And when you're around it that much, just by osmosis and by being willing to get into the grind, if you're around long enough, man, and you have the desire and the talent level, you're going to get there eventually, and he has. It's just awesome to watch. So right now, Xfactor up by a big 5 points over Edmonton Impact with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left to go, but 2 Xfactor players are walking off early.
Yes.
It's 3-on-5.
Turn of events here. It was Keith Brown. Might have just taken one, getting into the snake too. Yep, he does. See right there at the wall, Nick Laval, and it could be Grayson Goff playing opposite ends as Nick Laval launches, doesn't even see Grayson at the X and goes through. And is this going to hit the buzzer? So, that's Archie. So I don't even think Archie knew. Let's see if he turns around and looks and recognizes what happened. Or is that Dixon? They all look alike. Gosh darn it. Is that Dixon? Yeah, look at that. He turns around and sees that Nick Laval went right past him in his buzzer. Not going to be happy about that one.
So let's check out a replay here as Impact gets on the board. Now a 4-point spread.
Yeah, look at that launch. Good job by Nick Laval to go through. Bunkers nobody, but comes through, takes out Kovar in the back center. Doesn't even look to see, didn't even know there was someone at the wall with him, and then just hits the buzzer. Something that Impact desperately needed, getting those early kills on the brink against Xfactor and taking this point. But still a decent amount of time left in this match. They can definitely make something happen.
4 points. We're kind of at the edge
20
where
seconds.
there might not be enough time. I mean, you can, of course, score some quick points on this field, which we're going to find out.
I think you absolutely can.
Oh, you definitely can, but we're going to find out how can a team. We haven't seen a team come back from this down this many yet.
Yeah, I thought against the Russians, if we just would have, if Greg Lazat would have just kept running, we would have had at least a 19-second point. And one. So here we go. Chicago Aftershock. Carl Markowski. Just don't get out, Nathan. You're hitting the top of your head. Oh, you see that hit in the head? Oh, Nathan, careful, dude. Carl Markowski shoots him.
And it
LJ
looks like
Woodley gets
comes
shot.
off, so it's 4-on-4.
Yeah, I thought Nathan was going to get a penalty, man. Woo.
4-on-4 with a 1-point lead. 4 minutes and 43 seconds left to go here in this first prelim match for these teams. Oh, Spieth goes up and gets shot at that center. 50 trading out with Carl.
Yeah.
It's a good
Nice
trade
job by
out.
Carl.
Yeah.
So Shock right there on your screen, 3 bodies left alive. AC Dallas, the team now pushing forward as they have to, as Johnson gets his way into Snake 2. He's got Ryan Dazan now in front of him, Rob Velez, and it looks like Drew Templeton. So Johnson making his way already into the Snake 3. Wrapping is going to put pressure on Drew. And now if he can wrap this, he's going to make life really hard for Drew and for Rob. Ronnie's got to play heads up and put some pressure over here on Johnson. Johnson does have Matt Jackson behind him. And look at Johnson just go, man. Just unopposed. He takes out Ronnie. He's going to wrap and shoot Rob Velez in the face.
Johnson having a point here.
Dude, that's great play by Johnson, man.
Yeah, he rolls up.
Nice.
Rolls up, destroys, who was that?
He shot Ronnie.
Dizon.
He shot
Shoots Ronnie first.
And Rob.
Comes over, shoots Rob Velez.
And I don't know if Drew, he might have shot Drew. Drew walked off down the Dorito tape. But great job by Johnson to single-handedly pull that point out for AC Dallas. So Nice job by AC Dallas. Getting a little check out here by the ref. Let's see if they found the other thumbs up. So he's good. So Johnson doing it all, baby. Clint, woo! Getting himself at least, looks like at least a 3-pack, hitting a buzzer, tying this game up. There's Nick Laval, who's been doing a fairly consistent job playing that wall. Got the MVP in Las Vegas, going up there doing work, first event of the year.
Yeah, Laval has just been an absolute beast up in that center all year long since the introduction of that wall bunker. And
Yeah.
he's been one of the best guys up there.
And you know what? Great read by Impact to pick him up, you know, and just to see him. It'd be interesting if you could go and look at the way how he would progress on 187 and how he's progressed on.
Well, I remember getting a call from, I talked to Dave Baines before they picked him up, and this was after 187's first season when Nick Laval was the best player on the team by far. And he said, what do you think about Nick Laval? We're thinking about picking him up. And I was like, I think Nick Laval, you're talking about guys with promise, guys that could potentially get to be great one day. I really think that he was one of those guys that could be a great one day, you know, given the time, given him getting in there and train. And he said, yeah, we think the same thing, so we're going to try to get him. So,
Snatch.
you know, it was a huge pickup. And you know what, though? He didn't really get in the starting line much in the beginning.
No.
You know, he didn't get a lot of spins with Impact when he
But
first
when
started
he
out.
did, he definitely produced. You know, it was something like, oh, hey, Nick Laval's in. Oh, hey, Nick Laval gets a kill. Nick Laval makes a good move.
One of my favorite stories about Nick Laval was when we did an interview with him, written interview. It was online, and I asked him, I was like, what was your favorite moment of the year? And it wasn't anything about, you know, them winning a game. 187's first year. It didn't have anything to do with any sort of success. It came from a time where he was playing, I think, Infamous, and he got like double bunkered and shot to bits, to pieces, and he basically he looked at those guys and he said something to him, and he realized he had like a moment of clarity. And I can't remember the exact quote, but it was such a beautiful quote. He said, you know, he's like they knew that I was a threat. And they wanted to put the fear into me, you know, like, and that made me want to become a monster. And I was like, wow, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he picked his best moment as the time that he got punished the most, which arose something in him that he didn't know necessarily existed in the potency that it did exist. I mean, that was a moment of, you know, kind of an epiphany for him. And I was like, man, well, I couldn't have written that better, man. That was. Yeah, that was it was just beautiful, and that proved me that Nick Laval was ready for paintball greatness. So, you know, it's good to see him getting some spins and really being productive over this year, and that MVP award for Edmonton Impact. So look at this Friday afternoon schedule here. You can see there at 1:30. We're watching that right now.
Yeah,
Xfactor and Impact, and then Aftershock AC Dallas, and then up next Dynasty is going to be taking on Damage. I thought Damage looked pretty good at the last event. This needs to be a big event for Dynasty. You know, San Diego Dynasty ranked 6th overall because of their second place finish, but it's been a 10th and a 7th since then. Tampa Bay Damage right behind them, ranked 7th overall. And then Uprising, great story for them this year, but also another team yet to fulfill their promise. And the Ironmen picking up Todd Martinez as their coach. So that's going to be a good one here. See some of the action on the lake behind us here at Victory Park. A little outside of Cleveland. And it is not as hot and humid as it was yesterday, but we do have thunderstorms approaching.
Nice.
So here,
Yeah, so you can see the
a little
lineup.
bit of timeout.
Nick Laval, Zach Yakimak, Justin Cornell, Justin Rabikoff, and Keith Brown, your 5 for Edmonton Impact. So we got a little technical delay here, it looks like. Not really sure. Let's see if we can find out for you guys what's going on. Shout out to our man Darren, doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
so it
so-
sounds like the scoreboard.
Yeah, with a technical timeout, this is a scoreboard issue.
Darren touched it.
So, yeah, some more great paintball as always here in the NXL Pro Division. Best teams in the world throwing down here. Try to see who's going to win this one.
Yeah, and if you know what, you just said it there, our best teams in the world. You want to know what makes Xfactor one of the best teams in the world? Is look at this right here. Ryan Brand's out there with the clipboard, right? He's sitting around with Colt, with Archie, with Grayson, with Derek Jordan, and they're going over game plans, right? They're breaking it down.
Hey, if they see me,
And if you can hear what I can hear, you definitely are hearing
20 seconds.
them still talk, which makes me want to like listen to the webcast when we're playing so I can figure out what the other team's doing.
10 seconds.
But here we go, 10 seconds before the start of this 9th point. There's Xfactor there on your screen. Watch this breakout. Billy Renaccia getting shot right away, going to the insert bunker. So one body down quickly for Xfactor. As Nick Laval just pumps the dome up of Grayson Goff in the W. Nick Laval being tall, that's a bonus. As look at, here comes Keith Brown already in Xfactor's side of the field. He's going to come through. Shoot out Michael. It looks like there might be only one or no players left alive. So that's one of the fastest points we've seen in super dominating by Edmonton Impact, as they get 1 kill on Billy, 2 kill I think on Archie and Colt on the Dorito side, and then Keith Brown just flies down the field, just shoots the center.
Just talked about close points. Oh, I'm sorry, quick points.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That's what they got to do, man. This game's not over yet. You know, if there's one team that knows that, it's both Xfactor and Impact, and I think Xfactor is one of those teams that have had numerous teams come back and beat them. So if anyone's going to stress this, I'm looking at Archie walking off right now, as you can see. Here comes the move by Nick Laval, and he's just going to look over the window and see Grayson's head. Ooh. Yeah, perks of being tall and checking through the window, baby. Window shopping. So nice job by Impact to bring it within 3. See Nathan Roberts walking there on the field in his baby blues. AC Dallas, one team consistently changing jerseys every event, if not within the same event. Chicago Aftershock in their standard blue.
Yeah, and this one's close. All tied up at 4. 3 minutes and 32 seconds left to go. And it's kind of what we expected to see out of these teams.
Absolutely. Definitely a bloody knuckles fight. You know, Shock did kind of run away with it in the beginning a little bit, as we see Carl Markowski and Spies up the center there. Or is that? I don't think that's Carl. That could be Lawhead. So it looks like AJ Lawhead up the center, and they're right in front of each other. I'm surprised they haven't given each other away. No team's calling the wall out, and Spies is just edging, and look at that. Nice job to keep his body alive and come around and take Spies out, man.
Hey, that's veteran play right there. Lawhead, calm and composed, comes around. You can see Spies angry at himself that he did not trade out with Lawhead. Again, it is tied up. We are under 3 minutes to go here.
Yeah, and Shock's in good spots right now. Oh, and AJ Lawhead just gets clapped up in the center. It could have been Matt Jackson on the inside of the Snake Tower, and that allows Nathan Roberts just to slingshot around and get into Snake 2. And here's one thing I've kind of noticed with Shock right now. You know, Carl Markowski's getting shot, AJ Lawhead is getting shot, and Shock's been pretty content with sitting in these back bunkers. You know, Rob Velez isn't really moving anywhere. LJ Woodley just moved out to the Dorito corner, and you know, Clinton Johnson won the game before moving down the Snake, and look at Nathan Roberts now. Already in the 50, he's wrapping. He's going to go to Shock's side of the field, and he's just going to start putting a lot of pressure on Shock, and he looks like he gets a kill across. He might have got a shot on the pack of Ryan Dazan. I hope Ronnie's not hit. If he's hit, it's definitely going to be a penalty. He's over in that Dorito tower. Ooh, Chris Osteen calling out a kill on Nathan.
And
screaming at him.
Roberts is in a great position right now to try to blow this open. And there goes another death out of his spot. Rob Velez not able to hide in there.
Yeah, he tried to make a move out to that Aztec over here on the Snake side. Not a good move.
This could potentially be the winning point here, Nick, because with not a lot of time left, 1 minute and 44 seconds left, tied at 4, whoever wins this next point could potentially seal the deal here in this match.
Yeah, and AC Dallas losing Devin Stewart. So now it's a 3-on-3, but you can see the player right there on your screen. That's Nathan Roberts in Shock's side of the field. Chris Osteen for Aftershock is in the back center. He's just posted up on him. And Nathan Roberts is shooting crossfield at Ronnie Dazan, who's in the Doritos for Aftershock. Now I'll say, Nathan, there you go. I think Nathan just needs to play heads up. If he can beat Chris Osteen and win this gunfight, then he's got this whole side of the field essentially blown. There's no one on the Snake side of the field for Shock. As Ryan Dazan takes a run down the field and gets nobody, man, work with LJ behind you, dude.
Well, he's trying to blow it open here, but it's one of those tough situations. Do you try to push aggressive and make something happen, or do you just tuck in, down a body here, and
shout out to our boom operator.
Try to keep the time on the car, or try to at least keep the score even as the time ticks off.
No, I mean, I would have. You need to work with your teammates, man. Like, those players are the AC Dallas players were too far away, and Nathan Roberts is going to launch right now. He should launch. If he's putting pressure on LJ Woodley, who's in that Dorito tower, he's locked into gunfight. As Chris Osteen is now forced to look. Oh, and LJ gets shot. Chris Osteen's going to get shot. So, yeah, I mean, Shock's got to hit the horn here, man. And They do.
With just 23 seconds left, that's a tough break here for Shock, but what a great job by Roberts over here, Snake side, along with Matt Jackson, really stepping up for AC Dallas right here. With their team up by 1.
Yeah, and I think Ronnie should have just held up just a little bit. Because if anything, him and LJ are in a great position to look at the clock, right? If he's going to launch, hey, LJ, I'm going to go. Or, at least wait. I would have tried to wait a little bit until one of those guys got close to me to try and take me out. Right? I'm 2-on-1 on my side.
20 seconds.
Right? Nathan was 2-on-1 on his side with Matt Jackson against Chris Oseen. Just chill out, dude. Right? If anything, if you make that run, you have to get a guy.
10 seconds.
It's basically, that's one of those, if you make it and it works out, you're the hero, and if not, then everyone's going to kind of second guess your decision.
Yeah. I'm second guessing it. He didn't make it. So there's Edmonton Impact on your screen. They get a kill on Billy Bernaccia, so, and look at this, Nick Laval going to Xfactor's mini W in the center of the field. Edmonton Impact losing a body though. So 4-on-4, here comes the move to take out Archie Montemayor, trades out with Nick Laval, so it's a 3-on-3. That's Xfactor on your screen. Dorito corner, Dorito can, and Snake Tower, here's the move. We haven't really said Alex Goldman's name too much.
Yeah, we haven't. They've been running Keith Brown over here on the Snake side of the field, but he is in there right now.
And he gets a
he's
kill.
One of the fastest players, if not the fastest player in the league. Alex Goldman now trying to push quick, and again with 5 minutes, down by 3. Xfactor just...
I think it's a 2-on-1. I think it's just Alex Goldman right there on your screen.
Oh,
and he gets a kill.
Yeah, it's 1-on-1. They haven't picked up Goldman yet, but Goldman also doesn't know that there's one player left alive. Oh, and he almost gets picked up.
Good thing there's a net there. That ball would hit me in the face. So yeah, just Alex Goldman. That could be, looks like Derek Jordan.
Alex Goldman moves into the center.
Yeah, and again, Derek Jordan, dude, chill out, man. You're up by 3.
Well, I don't think Derek knows that it's just, he was just shooting another angle right there. So I don't know if Derek knows that it's a 1-on-1. Comes over the top. And Alex, he has to close the gap. He knows that they don't have a lot of time to work with, and they're still down a bunch of points, and he was able to come over, and did they trade out?
Looks like they did.
I think they did trade out. It's going to make it a no point, so that is definitely a good thing for San Antonio Xfactor, as that will make it all bodies dead and a no point, and takes about a minute and a half, 2 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, easily. That, Alex Goldman did what he had to do, and I'm really happy with Derek Jordan. Like, he didn't get, you'd think he was searching for those bodies, as you said, and he didn't get too crazy, didn't run out of there. Knew to stay put, and good job in trading. That's what you needed for your Xfactor.
Yeah, absolutely, he needed to trade out. So there's, looking at the impact pits right now. Let's check it out.
Take a rest, man.
Not seeing Dave Baines.
He's not here. Couldn't make it.
Okay.
There was
I know how that goes.
I think there was a wedding or some sort of life event that he couldn't miss.
Wait, there's life outside of paintball?
Apparently so.
What? No. So, the good signs of life that you're seeing from Impact is they're definitely getting kills in the break. They've shot Billy Bernaccia a couple times. Nick Laval, love that move. That's the first. Is it the first time we've seen a player go to the opposing team's mini wall off the break?
Yes, that is.
So that was a great move by Nick Laval, and he trades out with Archie.
I think Infamous tried it, but it didn't work.
Got shot?
I think Infamous tried it.
So nice job by Impact to kind of breathe in some life. Look at this. AC Dallas tried to take a timeout. They can't. I don't know if they're going to get all 5 bodies out here.
Well, they're running out.
They're sprinting.
They have 5, but can they make it in time?
Yeah, he's not. That horn's going to...
So he's going to have to tag up.
He does.
And then immediately turns around into a ball.
Yeah, so LJ Woodley gets shot, and so does Ryan Dazan. Oh, one more AC Dallas player comes off, so it is a 3-on-3. Here comes Carl Markowski. Get your gun up, Carl.
Here they come, completely committing. It looks like they're able to take them all out. Are they going to be able to hit the buzzer in time? And I think he is. What an amazing point. We haven't seen that yet.
I'm waiting for Greg Pauly to come storming over here because I can hear their pit side yelling that they're trying to call timeout.
That was Drew? I think that was Drew, right?
Yeah, Drew Templeton.
What a good job by Drew Templeton. Carl was able to stay alive as well.
Yeah, Shock losing 2 bodies essentially off the break. Looked like Danner getting pulled for not being able to tag up in time. And then AC Dallas losing bodies quickly thereafter. So Shock, that's easily the quickest point right there.
That is,
they had 26 seconds.
I don't even.
And there was probably 4 seconds left on the clock, so 22-second point.
That was the quickest point we've seen all tournament long. By far, what a great job by Drew Templeton, keeping his team in this game.
Yeah, so there's the AC Dallas pits. No commotion. I thought there would be, so maybe they realized they couldn't get the timeout in time. But again, that's 2 points we've seen this match where they haven't had all 5, their bodies out there on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
as you should.
If you want to call a timeout, you need a little bit more of a buffer there. I mean, you're up by 1 against a tough team. I mean, you with 20-something seconds left, that's kind of a heartbreaker for AC Dallas. That's, again, one of those points when you look back and go, well kind of threw that one away.
Especially if they lose this match. So here we go. Here in the disco call for Xfactor. Keith Brown for impact.
This one's still possible. 3-point spread, 4 minutes to go. I mean, we just saw a 22-second point scored. Colt Roberts gets gobbled up. Here comes Nick Laval on the run through. Nobody has picked up Nick Laval. He spins around. I think he caught them all.
He didn't get old Archie. So there's a penalty.
It's going to be a major penalty, but who is it going to be assessed on?
Impact. It's on Nick Laval.
Well, I see the ref pointing at, but I mean, if it was on Nick Laval, why wouldn't he just turn around and pull the 2 impact players that were running right past him? Looks like he was pointing cross field.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to CJ to get a ruling on what that was, what happened on the field there.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I think I agree with you. I think that was on Nick Laval. It's just that when the ref went running across, if it's a major penalty, the ref's going to pull the closest guys to him. 2 impact players went just running right past him.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a ruling. Great move. Man, Nick Laval, what a run. And if he had...
That's the best. I mean, okay, yeah,
easily the best run through.
But easily the best run through we've seen.
And
so
I would
far
take that run through and a penalty all day long, for sure.
Yeah, because I think they had enough bodies.
They absolutely did.
To pull. I mean, they still had, what, 4 bodies alive?
Yeah, Nick Laval was the only one dead.
Yeah. Impressive. But
So,
we were just talking about Nick Laval.
I know.
So
hey,
that's
man.
what's possible, man.
Hey, is that the first time we've commentator blessed somebody instead of commentator cursed somebody?
Let's check out the replay here. So there goes Nick Laval, launches on the delay, comes through, gets 1. That's his first kill. And he's going to come through here, gun up, perfect form, looking for bodies. No one's picked him up. Shoots 2 more guys on this side. And yeah, look, no gun's looking his way, spins around. Then finally the gun turns his way.
Yeah, so Archie was begging for that penalty, and that's where I think he might have got it. And I think they pulled right away. They pulled Justin Rabikoff and Justin Cornell on the Dorito side. I don't think the ref even looked over at the Snake players. He just saw maybe there was 4 guys alive. Doesn't matter. I got to pull 2.
Yeah, maybe.
But again, we're guessing still, as the refs, you can see, are still huddled up. Not sure if they're discussing what you're seeing right here. You'll watch Nick Laval. He gets those just second and third kills, and there's Archie Monomer turns, shoots him, and Nick Laval definitely right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that's a penalty.
He got blasted.
Yeah,
That's like the definition of a major penalty.
And look at this
right
ref
there.
if we let this run through. As Nick Laval's looking towards the Snake side. Archie's going to turn and shoot him. Keep going. Yeah, so Nick Laval's hit, and you're going to see Archie's left leg right there get shot. And this ref right here is instantly going to throw his hand up and go, Nope, nope, nope. And then boom, flag. So yeah, and you can see Nick like, come on, best move of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful move, even with the major. And like you said, I would definitely take that because that keeps them in this match.
Yeah, you just missed it. It was good, though. It's good, CJ. Talking to CJ, ultimate ref. Likes to come over here and get some sneaky replays. But refs still huddled up.
Still huddled up, conversating about that last one.
I was like, I used to be married, and I was like, I don't fucking care.
So we're definitely listening into the refs.
Yeah, so apparently they're definitely not talking about that penalty right now.
Yeah, we should
This
let
is
them
like
know.
that commercial.
It definitely is like that. Hey,
It's
CJ.
absolutely like that commercial.
Hey, we can hear everything they're saying if you just want to give them a heads up over the radio. So if as long as they don't say anything completely inappropriate or like, yeah, man, I'm totally gonna pull a penalty on Colt Roberts next point. Nothing against you, Colt. I don't think they're gonna do that. But okay, yeah, I think we got the hint that the microphone's been turned off. But it looks like we're having a delay now because of the scoreboard. Again, our main man Darren probably went out there and touched it, enjoying himself a little too much. So refs were not discussing that penalty. We're on a delay right now because the scoreboard is having issues.
So getting a little split screen here. Yeah, so they're in the pits on the right-hand side. Looking at Edmonton Impact. Still in this game. But we are waiting again on a glitch with the scoreboard so we can get into this next point. And
Yes.
after this match, gonna have Tampa Bay Damage taking on Dynasty. Looking forward to seeing that game. I want to see what Tampa Bay Damage is gonna bring to this tournament. Really started to look good at the last one.
I can't. Yeah, I'm interested to see Dynasty as well, how they attack this field.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you know, Dynasty, because of they took 10th at the event in Texas, 7th at the last one, 2nd at the first one. Damage is again right behind them. They took 13th at the second event, but 6th at the last one and 4th at the first. So, you know, but looks like you got a giveaway here.
Yeah, so for you guys can see my FanWagon predictions for first place. Not what you're seeing here on your screen, but for first place is an HK package with a shocker. I'm not sure if it's an HK shocker. Second place, you have these sweet V-Force GI grills. They're Cleveland edition, 1 of 1, specially made by Ryan Lockham of Head Check Photo. There's also a sweet Tiger Stripe pair over in the GI booth. You can win those. Got to talk to Steve Rabicoff, figure it out. And then second place also gets a Dan Zaleski jersey, and I believe second place gets an axe. An axe. So first and second place both getting guns and a package deal, goggles, jersey, and axe for second place. First place, HK package and a gun. Third place, you're getting a Z2 loader from Empire, and fourth place, you're getting a grill. So I'm not sure what grill you're going to get, but just want to show off these sweet grills. Again, Head Check Photo, hand painted. These things are badass. They've got Cleveland 2016 on here, so 1 of 1. There's also another pair of Tiger Stripe ones. You guys might have seen that on Instagram and Facebook, and a Dan Zaleski 187 jersey. So I'll make sure Dan signs this for whoever's second place. You can see on the side of your screen the guys that are in first place. Looks like Moorhead 85, so maybe Ryan Moorhead leading the charge right there at number
Moorhead
1.
Is still in first place.
Yeah, and
that's either a Moorhead fan or actually Ryan Moorhead.
Yeah, I'll have to text him and see what he says. But then Ryan and then Triple B first, second, and third. So those are your Mind FanWagon prizes. Again, first place an HK package, a shocker. Second place, custom grills, 187 Dan Zaleski jersey, and an axe. Third place is going to be a Z2 loader, and fourth place a custom, well, another pair of grills, not custom. So those are your prizes.
Tons of great prizes for FanWagon.
Yeah,
and definitely you should always throw your lines in, man. See if you can pick all the winners. You could potentially win some pretty valuable prizes.
Plenty of time to still do it. I think you can still go on and sign up.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. So head to myfanwagon.com or download the app. I also thought it's kind of interesting. You could look at the bottom of the screen and you can see that Impact was big time favored over San Antonio Xfactor, and right now Xfactor with the still with a lead. That lead started to get whittled away here with those past couple points from Impact.
I mean, Impact, so late start, we talked about them getting a slow, sluggish start, but definitely showing how they're easily the #1 team in paintball right now.
If I was Ryan Brand, though, absolutely. Yeah, if I was Ryan Brand, I'd be really frustrated with my guys. I'd be like, we put up this massive lead right now on Impact, and we can't close the door. It's like getting the heavyweight champs on the ropes, and you're pounding them, and you just can't put them out, can't put them down. And all of a sudden they come back and start landing some punches of their own.
Sure, and why is that? Are we just not as crisp on the break? Are we not shooting those same lanes? Are they keying up on Billy?
I hope it's that and not just, oh, we have a massive lead.
Yeah, let's take it easy.
Let's just take.
We got this.
Not necessarily. Of course, they're not going to try to take it easy, but we've seen that time and time again where the team will rail up a bunch of points and then let the other team get back into it because they just hit the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, and Xfactor is definitely one of those teams who's, again, been in a situation where they've let teams come back and beat them. So we're trying to get a little update for you guys on what's going on here with the scoreboard and what's going to happen. Yeah.
Water's really nice. Water. LJ, get water. Hey, come back.
So we're going to see if we can run some highlights for you guys. There's Aftershock and AC Dallas are on the field right now. Again, just waiting for this scoreboard.
So yeah, we're going to take a quick break here. Check out these highlights. We'll be right back after this technical timeout.
Could.
All right, so head back into it here. Scoreboard is fixed. Let's see who's going to win this match.
This is overtime, so there you had Chicago Aftershock on your left, AC Dallas on your right. Teams 5 up. Here comes a move through the center. He's going to get Carl. Looks like he does, and he stays alive. So one body down for Shock. Carl gets bunkered out of the center wall there. Nice move by AC Dallas to do that.
Yeah, and this is overtime, all tied up at 5 here. Let's see, owning that center, AC Dallas right now, and he's zoning up on that lane there here on the Snake, trying to keep Aftershock from pushing forward on the Snake side of the field. Aftershock pushes up on the D side slightly. No one in the Snake right now for AC Dallas.
Yeah, Ryan Dazan tries to make a move on the D side. He gets shot. And AC Dallas making their presence known over there. They're in the Dorito 3, communicating. Devin Stewart talking it up with his Dorito player, and they're going to cross it up. Try and put the pressure on Chicago Aftershock. Aftershock only has LJ Woodley. Of course, as soon as I say his name, he gets shot, and so does AJ Lawhead.
Yeah,
so just Drew Templeton left alive. He's going to get run down, and that's going to be it, as AC Dallas is going to go ahead and take their first match in this overtime point against Chicago Aftershock, 6-5.
Yeah, congratulations to AC Dallas. Shock just kind of falling apart a little bit there in that overtime point. I mean, yeah, they lost Carl going up there, but then losing Woodley and was it over here on the
It was Dazan that just ran into a gun.
Yeah, so, you know, just a couple bad moves, and that ends up being the story here in overtime. You know, and Shock initially looked really good here in the beginning of this match, going a couple points on AC Dallas, but
yeah, and then AC Dallas, you know, making some mistakes the first point, and
exactly.
the last point for Shock to tie it.
Yeah.
You know, not having all their guys ready on the line, but there you go, AC Dallas, you know, pulling it out, coming back, bouncing back from that. It just goes to show, man, if you get down, as a couple teams have early on already in this tournament, that it's not over till it's over, and we're about to see if that can come to fruition. Say my word for
Fruition?
me. Fruition. Thank you, Maddie. So glad I can count on you.
I got you, bro.
I cannot speak. If that comes up here in the Impact Xfactor game, is Impact is starting to make a comeback.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got about 20 seconds before the start of this next point. But yeah, if you're a Shock fan, you got to look at a situation like this and be a little frustrated. AC Dallas, they did hold on, but AC Dallas also making mistakes too. So, you know, neither one of those teams playing their best paintball in that game. But it is the first game of the event.
Yeah, that's the game you want to have it happen in.
Yeah, so hopefully they can tweak things and just kind of fix those little problems and issues that they were having. So here, looks like losing his pack, Michael Kovar, he gets shot, Billy Bernacci gets shot. So now the door is open right now for Edmonton Impact. Impact loses a body though.
Yeah, still 4-on-3.
And they lose Keith Brown as well too, so just when we think Impact's gonna have an advantage, Keith Brown gets shot and then he gets a penalty.
Yeah, that was kind of questionable. Not sure what the ref saw there. Maybe if he thinks that Keith Brown was hit already and he made his way to the Snake, but that's definitely going to give the advantage right back to Xfactor. It's going to be at least a 3-on-2 in favor of Xfactor, and all the bodies for both teams are from the back center over to the Dorito side. Ref, though, running in to check out Archie. Got to clean off his loader, so Archie's good and clean. You're looking at Impact there on your screen. 2 bodies alive for them over there on that Dorito side of the field. In that tower on the Dorito side, and in that tall cake. Xfactor now making their way over here to the Snake Tower. So 3-on-2 in favor of Xfactor. Edmonton Impact gonna have to make something happen here with their 2 bodies as time's gonna take off the clock. And if Xfactor's smart, they're just gonna hang out and chill.
Absolutely, burn as much of this clock off as possible. It's just a 2-point game now after this comeback, instigated by Impact, but starting to run out of time. So Xfactor just needs to whittle that time down as much as possible here. Try to win this point. But if not, try to take as much of that clock off as possible. Maintain the lead.
Yeah, the ball's definitely in. Is that
Archie?
Is that Archie? I can't tell, man. Archie and Dixon. Now everyone's got these beanies now. Oh my God, it's hot out. What are you doing? That definitely looks like Archie. Is that Dixon?
No, it is Dixon.
And he
right.
moved just like Archie. So Dixon Yang making his way to the Snake too, and he's gonna have a shot now. Try to put pressure on Justin Rabakoff, and they're going to go ahead and concede this as Dixon making that move. Definitely, if I saw that move by Dixon, my players didn't pick it up, I probably would have conceded the point too.
And solid job by Colt Roberts and Archie Montemayor, who were able to stay alive as well. Take that time off the clock, force the concession by Edmonton Impact. And now we're going to have a full 2 minutes in between this next point. So yeah, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Stick with us. So we're back here, closing moments here of this match between Edmonton Impact and San Antonio Xfactor. San Antonio Xfactor with a 3-point lead now. It was getting pretty interesting with that comeback that Impact was putting up here, but now 7-4 is the score, just 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. It's going to take 3 very quick points here for Edmonton Impact. They definitely have it in them. We've seen some very quick points from them already in this match.
Yeah, the ref.
But it comes down to the break. Can they shoot some players off the break?
Yeah, well, here you go. Keith Brown, who's already gotten, I think, 2 minors getting checked out by ref. He's clean, so all 5 bodies alive for both teams. That's Impact on your screen, going from left to right. You see Keith Brown being backed up right away by Zach Yakimak in the snake. Look at this aggressive push. As they take out Mike Alcovar, he gets shot in the back of the head out of the center, so that's going to open things up for Nick Laval. Grayson Goff taking a bounce. Now he's eliminated too, so 2 bodies dropping for Xfactor.
This is what Impact needed. They needed to push quickly. They needed to get a couple quick kills. They've done that. See if they can capitalize on this opportunity. Nick Laval in real good field position there at the center. They've double stacked here in the snake with Brown and Yakimak.
Yeah, and it's these 2 that need to push it because they're 2-on-1 against Billy Bernaccia. And here goes Keith Brown. He's going to launch to the 50. Zach Yakimak's going to be right on his tail, and he's going to put pressure on Billy. And if he does that, he's going to allow Keith Brown just to launch and take off down the field. So he's forced, now Billy is forced to look inside, so Keith Brown has free reign to essentially just run down the field. I don't think anyone's really looking at him.
Well, he was looking at that one gun, but he just shot Colt Roberts, and now Zach Yakimak's going to leapfrog him and go towards that center and try to get a shot on the last player left alive. I think that's Archie, and all he's trying to do is just roll his gun, and he's going to get riddled, but he's going to have to
penalty?
take the pain.
Here comes a penalty.
Oh, no, looks like Billy Bernaccia's still alive, but he
and
did
penalty.
get a penalty, but it was a minor. And it looks like Billy was there to pull, so.
I wonder, though, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's 37 seconds left, down by 3, now down by 2. You know, that push probably had to happen a little bit quicker to conserve a little bit more time, but we'll see if that penalty carries over.
And going back, we talked about the slow start that Impact got. Look how good they're playing now. If they had started playing this game like they've played the last 4 or 5 points,
they pretty much took.
We have a totally different story.
Absolutely, and I mean that'd be just pandemonium. There'd be scramble paintball going on because with the way Xfactor was playing, you know, Impact is essentially has taken what Xfactor's done the first half of the game and is doing it themselves. It's probably too little, too late.
It is it's like 2 completely different stories from the 2 halves of this game.
Absolutely.
The first story was Xfactor demolishing Impact, but pretty much the second part of the story has been Impact just railing off these quick points. Now, yes, Xfactor has been winning enough points, or at least like that one-on-one going.
Absolutely.
You know, so they've done enough to preserve their lead and not completely give it away to Impact. But what a great job Impact has done trying to push forward to score these quick points. So it's just, again, might be too little too late here.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're any team watching, you know, definitely pay attention to what these teams are doing because this is some of the best paintball you're seeing all day going on right now between both teams. As Maddie's just said, you know, it's been half versus half here, and we'll see what happens as there's about 36, 37 seconds left to go. Impact's down by 2. They've got to go. I like the move where they double stack Keith Brown and Zach in the snake and press that side. Nick Laval, I was actually expecting just to go straight through because he's playing the center, I think, better than anybody right now and doing what he has to do. You know, going up there, getting kills, staying alive, and making the best run through we've seen pretty much, like I've seen all day.
Oh no, yes, he got the major penalty, but that
Yeah,
4-pack run
that.
through. But that I don't care. I'm still giving that best move of the day so far because of the situation.
Absolutely.
Did he get a penalty? Yes. Was it an obvious major? Absolutely. But that 4-pack that he got in the situation that happened, down as many points as they were, I mean, that was what pumped the momentum up for Impact and really got him going on the comeback.
And I think because he shot Archie, they still pulled him out, which I kind of disagree with. And I mean, if Archie, I could see Archie was just totally not very happy.
Yes.
Put it that way. But because he got blown up like that, he had no choice but to kind of like go, oh, what the heck, you know, Major's call, but he's still the last body left alive, and he ends up just walking off. So, yeah.
Hey, they're making it interesting though.
No,
It's been a fun
it.
game. This has been a fun game to watch. It's been one of the more fun games to watch so far of the tournament thus far.
Yeah.
Obviously, still lots of paintball to play here, just in the prelims. Still 3 more sets coming at you this afternoon, starting with Tampa Bay Damage and Dynasty and Ironman and Uprising. I can't wait to watch those matches for numerous reasons. See here, there's Coach Ryan Brand in the red talking to his boys. There's Colt Roberts and Dixon Yang.
Both coaches out there. As Bart Yakimak has run out to talk to Impact as well.
There's Grayson Goff.
Yeah, so I'm really pumped up to see what's going to happen at this point, because you know Impact has to go.
20 seconds.
And, you know, I don't see Ryan Brand or any of the guys in Xfactor being like, hey, let's just hold back and cross our guns up and shoot them as they come through our lanes. Like, if that's Colt, if that's Michael, if that's Grayson, Archie, Derek Jordan, they want to go out there and they want to get blood, right? They're going to go out there, and I think they're going to play full charge paintball, just like Impact's going to be forced to, is you're going to watch Impact on the breakout right now.
So here on the breakout, big push by Goldman all the way to Snake 2, but he gets shot. And then here comes the ball up in that center. It looks like they lose 2 bodies.
Yeah, Justin Rabikoff getting shot. Impact is in the 50 Dorito. Nick Laval launches. He gets clapped up. I don't think anyone from Xfactor has gotten shot. Zach Yakimak is in the Snake 2, but he's looking at 5 bodies and 15 seconds left. You haven't shot anyone from Xfactor. That's going to do it.
Hey, I like the play call from Impact, though. No choice but to try to send your fastest guy in Alex Goldman as far as you can on the Snake side. Send your killer up, that center killer, Nick Laval, former MVP winner. Send him up to center, and then send JC. JC's past the 50-yard line on the D side of the field, but unfortunately for Impact, they did get a slow start to this match, and Xfactor will be taking the victory in a close game here, 7-5. But you know, I mean, at one point, what was it?
6-2.
I think it was 6. It was 5-1. And then it ends up 7-5. So, I mean, Impact did not want to lose this match. A little bit too much Xfactor for them, particularly in the beginning. Xfactor doing an amazing job of shooting those spots off the break. I love the aggression I saw at Xfactor. Typical Xfactor paintball, good gunfighting abilities, and Impact just waking up a little bit too late in that match to, you know, fight back. But still, it was pretty awesome to watch their attempted comeback. So congratulations to Xfactor as they take their first victory of the tournament. Xfactor will play Chicago Aftershock after this next set. And then AC Dallas, they also took the victory. They're going to be taking on Impact after this next set as well. So stick with us here. More action coming at you from the 2016 NXL Great Lakes Open. We'll be back.